What if I told you there's a machine that can build a bridge in midair? While standing on the bridge it's building. Sounds impossible, right? That's exactly what American engineers said, until they saw it with their own eyes. For decades, China was the world's factory for cheap knockoffs. But something changed. Today, Chinese mega machines are doing things that defy everything we thought we knew about physics and engineering. American scientists are stunned. European engineers are scrambling to catch up. And the rest of the world? They're watching in disbelief. These aren't just bigger versions of existing technology. These are machines that work in ways that shouldn't be possible. Machines that create islands from nothing. Machines that tunnel through mountains without anyone above even noticing. The question isn't whether China has caught up anymore. The question is, how did they get so far ahead? Let's start with the machine that broke every rule of bridge construction. Picture this. You're standing in a valley between two mountains. 1,000 feet below you, there's nothing but air. And somehow a bridge is building itself in front of your eyes. Meet the SLJ 900/32. Engineers call it the Iron Monster. And when you see it in action, you'll understand why. This machine is 300 feet long and runs on 64 wheels. But here's where it gets weird. It doesn't build bridges from the ground up, it builds them from the bridge itself. The machine positions itself on columns that have already been built. Then it does something that seems to violate the laws of physics. It extends massive hydraulic legs, grabs a 1,000-ton concrete beam, and swings itself forward to the next column. Think about that for a second. This machine is standing on a bridge that doesn't exist yet. To build the bridge it's standing on, American engineers spent months analyzing footage of this machine because they couldn't believe it was real. Traditional bridge construction using cranes takes weeks, sometimes months, to position a single beam. The SLJ 900/32 does it in hours. But here's what really shocked Western experts: the precision. This isn't some crude heavy lifter. The machine uses advanced sensors and computer systems to position those 1,000-ton beams with millimeter accuracy. In thin mountain air, on unstable platforms, in conditions where a single miscalculation could mean catastrophic failure. The result? China has built some of the world's highest and longest bridges in record time. Bridges that cross valleys so deep, the clouds form below them. Bridges that Western engineers said were impossible to build at all, let alone at this speed. But if you think that's impressive, wait until you see what China did to the ocean itself. In 2014, American satellites detected something strange in the South China Sea. Small rocks and reefs that had been there for centuries were growing. Not naturally, artificially. Enter the Tiancun, the machine the Chinese call the magical island maker. This isn't a ship. It's a floating factory that can reshape the ocean floor itself. Here's how it works. The Tiancun's massive cutter head, equipped with teeth harder than most rock, descends to the seabed. It spins at tremendous speed, grinding through rock, coral, and sediment like a blender through ice. Then here's where it gets fascinating. The pulverized material gets sucked up through pipes as wide as subway tunnels. The ship can pump this material up to 6 miles away. In 1 hour, it excavates enough material to fill 3 Olympic-sized swimming pools. But China didn't build this machine just for construction projects. Over several months, the Tiancun and vessels like it deposited millions of tons of sand and sediment onto tiny reefs in the South China Sea. They worked day and night, pumping material until those reefs became islands. Not small islands, islands large enough for military airstrips, harbors, and radar installations. American naval commanders watched through satellites, helpless, as China literally created new territory in disputed waters. The international community protested, but by the time anyone could act, the islands were already there, complete with facilities and equipment. Western dredging companies openly admitted they had nothing comparable. The scale, the power, the precision, it was beyond anything they'd developed. One American naval engineer described it as watching someone terraform the ocean in real time. Now let's leave the Earth's surface and look up. Deep in China's Guizhou province, there's a natural basin between mountains. For millions of years, it sat empty, carved by geological forces. Then China decided to build the world's largest eye into space. The 500-meter aperture spherical telescope, FAST for short. But Chinese scientists call it something more poetic. Tianyan, the sky eye. The numbers alone are staggering. 500 meters in diameter, large enough to hold 30 football fields. Made of 4,450 triangular panels that can be individually adjusted. But here's what American astronomers can't get over. For 57 years, the world's largest radio telescope was the Arecibo Observatory in Puerto Rico. It was America's crown jewel of space research, featured in movies, responsible for countless discoveries. Then, FAST came online. And it wasn't just bigger, it was better. The surface panels can tilt and adjust, allowing FAST to focus on different parts of the sky without moving the entire structure. It's so sensitive that it could theoretically detect a cell phone signal from the moon. Here's the twist that really stung. In 2020, the Arecibo telescope catastrophically collapsed. Cables snapped, the platform crashed down, and decades of American scientific dominance ended in minutes. Now, when American astronomers want to study certain deep space phenomena, they have to request time on China's telescope. The student became the master. The imitator became the innovator. Chinese scientists are using FAST to search for pulsars, study distant galaxies, and yes, listen for potential signals from extraterrestrial intelligence. They're detecting phenomena that were invisible to every other telescope on Earth. One American astrophysicist admitted off the record, "We're now looking at a generation where the most important space discoveries might come from China, not the West." Let's come back down to Earth, because some of China's most impressive machines don't go to space. They just lift things that shouldn't be liftable. The XGC 88000 crawler crane. When Western engineers first saw the specifications, they thought it was a typo. Lifting capacity, 4,000 tons. To put that in perspective, this crane can lift the weight of 60 main battle tanks. Simultaneously, into the air, it doesn't run on wheels. Those would crumble under the weight. Instead, it moves on crawler tracks like a tank, except this tank is as tall as a 20-story building. When China started deploying these cranes to international construction projects, the competitive landscape shifted overnight. Saudi Arabia was building a massive petrochemical plant. European and American companies bid on the contract with traditional cranes, estimating months of work. Then a Chinese company showed up with the XGC 88000. They completed the same heavy lifts in days. The machine uses advanced computer systems to calculate load distribution, wind resistance, and structural stress in real time. It can position massive structures, we're talking entire building sections, with centimeter precision. American heavy lift companies that had dominated the industry for decades suddenly found themselves obsolete. One crane operator from Texas visited a site where the XGC 88000 was working and said, "I've been doing this for 30 years. What that machine did in an afternoon would have taken my crew 2 weeks, and we wouldn't have done it as safely. Finally, let's go underground." Tunnel boring machines, TBMs, have existed for decades. But China didn't just improve them. They reimagined what tunneling could be. Meet the Jinghua Hao series. These machines are as tall as 5-story buildings and as wide as 3-lane highways. But here's what makes them revolutionary. Traditional tunneling meant digging, reinforcing, then digging more. It was slow, it was dangerous, and it disrupted everything above ground. China's mega TBMs do something different. The front of the machine has a rotating cutter head covered in diamond-tipped teeth. As it spins, it pulverizes rock and soil. That material gets extracted through the machine's interior. But simultaneously, and this is the genius part, the back of the machine installs prefabricated concrete tunnel sections. By the time the machine has moved forward, the tunnel behind it is already complete and structurally sound. It's like watching a mechanical worm that eats rock and leaves finished tunnels in its wake. China has used these machines to build metro systems that span hundreds of miles. They've tunneled under rivers, through mountains, and even beneath existing cities without the people above even noticing the construction. They've built underwater tunnels that connect islands. They've created underground highways that bypass congested cities. The scale is unprecedented, One TBM in Shenzhen bored through 10 kilometers of mixed geology, rock, clay, sand, in conditions that would have stopped Western machines cold. American tunneling companies admit they can't compete on speed, scale, or cost. Chinese TBMs are not only larger and more capable, but they're also a fraction of the price. So what does all this mean? These machines aren't just impressive engineering achievements, they're tools of transformation. The bridge builder allowed China to connect regions that were geographically isolated, bringing development to areas that were previously unreachable. The island maker gave China strategic control over critical sea lanes, changing the balance of power in the Pacific. The Sky Eye positioned China at the forefront of astronomical research and the search for extraterrestrial life. The super crane made China indispensable for mega construction projects worldwide. And the tunnel borers are literally reshaping the landscape beneath China's cities, creating infrastructure that will serve hundreds of millions of people. 30 years ago, Western experts laughed at Chinese engineering. 20 years ago, they were concerned. 10 years ago, they were playing catch-up. Today, many have simply conceded that in certain fields, China isn't just competing, they're leading. American engineers who've worked with these machines describe a common experience: disbelief, followed by respect, followed by a sobering realization of how much the technological landscape has shifted. Here's the most stunning part. We've only seen the beginning. China is already developing the next generation of these machines. Bridge builders that work even faster, dredging vessels that can operate in deeper waters, tunnel borers that can handle more complex geology. They're applying artificial intelligence, automation, and materials science in ways that Western engineers are scrambling to understand. The machines that stunned experts today will be considered outdated in 5 years. What seemed impossible a decade ago is now routine. What seems impossible today might be standard tomorrow. The question that keeps American engineers up at night isn't whether China can build impressive machines, it's what they'll build next. So here's my question for you. Which of these mega machines shocked you the most? Do you think Western countries can catch up, or has the advantage shifted permanently? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if someone told you 10 years ago that China would be building bridges in midair and creating islands from nothing, would you have believed them? If this video opened your eyes to how much the world has changed, hit that like button and share it with someone who still thinks China only makes cheap products. Subscribe to Unfiltered Discovery and turn on notifications, because the future is being built right now, and you don't want to miss what's coming next. The age of impossible machines has just begun.